and then you try to change them and they don't want to change, you just need to give up and look for better. Hi there, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Drunk Talks Equals Sober Thoughts, where I talk about things when I'm sober and then I talk about them again when I'm drunk to see if my opinion changed. Now, I know this is a little bit different of a format than you're used to with this series, but I decided because of the topic that I wanted to cover this week that it deserved a little bit more time. If you want to see some more episodes in this series that I've already made, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Marissa A. Holman, or you can find them here on YouTube Shorts. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, today's topic is going to be about dating standards and preferences and whether or not we've set them too high. I feel like the video that I put out, I think last week, on whether or not height matters in a relationship kind of sparked a bigger conversation. As a sober person, I feel like maybe our dating standards and somewhat preferences have been set too unrealistic. Like if you were to imagine one of those little things that like you can turn it to, what is it, like one side is green and one side is red, and it's like one side is unrealistic and one side is realistic. We've kind of dialed that knob really close to like fully unrealistic, but it's bordering depending on who you ask. A conversation that I had with someone in my Instagram comments actually made me want to make a full-blown video about this, and let me read that to you. They say, "I agree to a point, but I also disagree. I mean, there are just things about a person that can turn you off to the idea. Maybe you don't find them attractive or a behavior attractive, or maybe it's a combination of things that make the person unattractive." Quoting, "I simply cannot deal with the fact that he shaved his head and he's shorter than me. I don't know if there's necessarily a good or bad when it comes to broad preferences, but there's a point where it becomes fetishy, discriminatory, or other phobics." I basically said if there are things that you find so unattractive that you wouldn't even give someone a chance, I think you need to rethink your preferences. And this was in regards to height, but I also think that it can be in regards to salary and other somewhat superficial things. Me and the commenter actually did have a conversation about this, which really enlightened me. Still on my own, I do feel that a lot of dating preferences and requirements almost have gotten to a point where it's very unrealistic for both parties. I think it's really unrealistic for anyone to want their partner to be making $75,000 a year and no less, to be driving this kind of car and to have this kind of apartment and to, have this kind of job. Even if they are making $75,000 plus a year, why are they making that much? What is their job? When is it too far? When do you have to, in your mind, draw the line and say, I can't even bring $100,000 to the table and going to church every week and doing this, that, and the other. But I don't know. Tell me what you think about dating preferences. What are your standards for a relationship? When I was younger, I feel like a big thing that I had an issue with as far as male dating standards is height requirements for women. Height and weight, because now I'm a bigger girl and I'm taller and I feel like the cards are stacked against me. Obviously, face card is T. I do worry about body issues that may come up in a relationship with a man just because I have had issues with that in the past. And obviously, I'm way heavier than I was in high school, so it makes me even more nervous. As far as height goes, height and weight, I prefer my man to be between 5'9" and 6'2", and really, I honestly prefer my women to be any height. I love all women. It's a little biased in this situation, but I promise I don't have a biased opinion. But it's not a complete deal breaker. I don't think I have any preferences besides not being able to communicate that would make me so off-put by someone. Some of the bigger issues with dating standards is salary requirements, asset requirements, things like that. Things that are almost unattainable by either side, especially in my generation. A lot of us are just now graduating college. A lot of us are staying at home with our parents. A lot of us who have moved out don't even have money to start putting towards things like that. I have been seeing some videos on social media that basically show very, I don't want to say uneducated, but they show women that will not date a man if he's not making $75,000 a year with a very nice job, with a very nice car and a very nice apartment, and is 7'3" and is, really lean. It's just like, can you bring that to the table? And that's a question for both sides. As much as you want me to be a skinny, petite woman, are you at the gym every single day? Because that's exactly what I would have to do to attain that body, especially right now. Everyone wants to talk about how their dating standards are so specific, but if they're that attractive to you physically, you're willing to throw all of that out the window. I feel like it's so weird to be so strict on certain preferences and certain attributes that you just must have. But when they're that attractive, it's out the window. But anyway, before I let Drunk Mars take over, comment down below what you think about dating preferences. What are your dating preferences and your standards? I'm going to let Drunk Mars take the stage. See you soon. Hey y'all, this is Drunk Mars. I kind of want to drink a little more though. Let's take a drink together, shall we? Whether the weather is cold or whether the weather is hot, we'll be together whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. That tastes like juice now. What was the topic again? Oh, right. We were talking about dating standards. As Drunk Mars, I am going to be honest with you. Something that I've learned in the past year is that you should never lower your standards. Even if they seem unrealistic, there is someone out there for you. The issue is, if you then fall in love with somebody and then you try to change them and they don't want to change, you just need to give up and look for better. If you're not going to be somebody that's going to compromise, you should not just keep trying to make somebody change for you, because ultimately then they have to live their whole life as someone that they were not, as someone that they don't know. I know somebody who has said multiple times that he feels like everyone is trying to change him, and our relationship came to a very tense moment because of it. But when I started to realize that I can't change you, and I have to realize that if I truly do love you for who you are, not what you could become, then that is what it is. I think my own issues with standards and stuff like that is that I definitely fall in love with potential. And I think a lot of people can say that. You can see somebody being a very great husband, or you can see someone being a very great father. And yes, people do grow and people do change. But are they going to change within a timely manner that is okay for you? If you guys start dating and he's got 3 years to propose to you, do you think within those 3 years he will be able to mature and grow into the person that you want him to be? It's completely off topic, but someone said on my Instagram that I don't seem that drunk. And unfortunately, what I've realized is that I just love yapping so much that I really lock in when it comes time to talk. Like, I'm actually sweating through my clothes right now. I'm so drunk, but I really feel passionate about these topics. So I just feel like, it's okay if a couple people say that I'm not drunk. I really am drunk. I guess the bigger picture here that I'm wondering is, why would you expect so much out of someone that you don't expect out of yourself? A part of the women and men being equal is that men cook as much as women do. Men clean as much as women do. Men take care of the kids as much as women do. So when you start factoring everything together, salary should also be something that's kind of equal between the two of you. Not saying that people of different salaries or tax brackets can't be together and at work, but I do find that men typically have an issue when their woman makes more money than them. I wouldn't really know why it's an issue for a woman to want their partner to make more than them. And I think this also brings around a bigger topic of expectation and how much our generation does not like things being overly expected out of them, which I definitely understand, because if you can't live up to that expectation, feeling like you have to do something that you literally cannot do is really uncomfortable and can cause you to be very sad, honestly. And I feel like that's very unfair to both men and women. I am so hot right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love soju, but I'm literally sweating through my clothes. I haven't sweat like this in months. I know this was a very short video. I thought it was gonna be longer, but I definitely just wanted to talk about random things. I kind of want to make more content like this, not drunk though, because I'm trying to pivot, even though I do really enjoy drunk content, not drug. I don't know what I was saying. Comment down below what you want to hear me talk about next, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.